We're all searching for answers, okay? Whether that be, where will I be in 5 years? Or what is the meaning of life, okay? But how can we expect to find these answers if we do not craft the right questions? Moreover, with YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all of these streams of information, and if we, you and I, are not able to discern between fact and opinion, then we all may just lose our heads. And that exact reason is why it is an absolute and utter necessity that we are able to ask critical questions. To one, be able to better explore an issue so we may find better answers. And two, so that we may protect ourselves from irrational and illogical beliefs. I'm gonna get some water real quick. Now, once upon a time, there was this guy. His name was Socrates. He was pretty good at asking critical questions. Through asking critical questions, Socrates was able to inspire social and moral evolution within the city of Athens, so much so to the extent that the main power brokers of the city became scared. He wasn't telling you to not sleep with people. He wasn't telling you to overthrow whoever was in charge. He wasn't saying anything. He was just questioning. He was asking 6 different styles of questions. But what are these 6 question types which Socrates asked people, which allowed him to shift their minds, which allowed him to explore issues at such a depth and intensity never seen before? Well, we'll be getting to that right now. So the 6 question types are clarification, assumption, evidence, perspective, consequence, and a cheeky 6th type of question. And this cheeky 6th question is what truly allows people to differentiate themselves, becoming not just high performers, but becoming a true innovator. Now, rather than just explaining to you what each of these question types are, I'd rather show them to you. In the setting of a high-stakes business meeting which will determine the fate of a trading dock in Timbuktu.
God damn it! The ship docks in Timbuktu are bleeding money. We're not making profits. We have to sell them immediately.
Before we rush into a decision, let's break this down.
What's there to break down? Huh? The numbers speak for themselves. Okay, we have to sell those docks immediately because they're not making enough profits.
Well, let's start with a clarifying question. What do we mean by not making enough profits? Are we at a loss? Or are we simply making less than we did last quarter? Actually, they're still generating revenue, just not at the expected rates. So it's still underperforming, but it's not entirely unprofitable. Now, a challenging assumptions question. Are we assuming that selling the docks will solve our financial situation? What if the transaction costs actually incur a loss? I hadn't considered the transaction costs.
And what about future value? The docks' value could increase.
Shut the hell up, intern!
Stupid intern, nobody likes you.
God damn interns, man, I swear to God. And what if the docks' value increases?
Jesus Christ, that's a good point. Bravo, Kocha. Let's clap our hands together. That's a real unique
I said that.
idea.
Yeah, gotcha.
That has not been
flipping
thought
soaked in
before.
vinegar
That's
eating
for sure,
goddamn
Kocha.
Jeeps.
I'm giving you a promotion.
And that leads me to an evidence question. What evidence do we have that the dock's prices will continue to decline rather than recover.
Actually, there's a new trade route proposal that might boost their value by next year.
Yeah, but can we afford to wait that long?
Good question, sir. Let's explore that with an alternative perspective question. How would a potential buyer view the docks? As a failing asset or as a future investment?
A buyer might see it as a long-term opportunity. We could be selling at a low point.
Holding on to them is risky.
It could be an intern move, guys. I mean, it looks like an intern move.
Have I done something to you guys?
Shut up, intern! What do you even pay this guy for?
We don't.
Wait, isn't that slavery?
Well, speaking for my people, it's not slavery. If they deserve it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you got it coming. You got it coming.
I totally didn't need my self-esteem. Lastly, let me ask you a question about the question. This question is for you, Mr. CEO. Is profit all that matters? Is that the only reason why you own these docks?
You know what? When I was a kid, my dad told me, son, if I had a farm in Timbuktu and a home in hell, I'd sell my farm and go home. I'm selling the hell out of those docks.
My man.
I hate Timbuktu. I don't give a damn about profits. I'ma buy the Suez Canal.
We might be getting a little too ambitious there, sir.
Okay, that's enough.
Jesus.
Get me out of here, am I right?
I think we can all agree that that was a very illuminating sketch filled with some very attractive actors. But let me take this a step further. You see, because the power of these questions lies not only in high-stakes business meetings, but also in the moments when we're alone, when we're really confronting the tough questions. For example, the classic question of, what job will I do for the rest of my life? Now, this question has plagued many young people, myself included. But let's see what happens when we apply the Socratic questions. Clarifying question. What do I even mean by job? Is it a career, a passion, a way to make money? Assumption question. Why am I assuming I need just one job for my entire life? Who decided that? Perspective question. How would my future self view this decision? Or how would someone I admire approach it? Evidence question. What proof do I have that choosing the wrong job now will ruin my life? Consequence question. What happens if I choose something now but pivot later? Meta question. Am I asking the right question at all? Or should I be asking, what value do I want to create and for whom? Suddenly, this question is no longer a wall which is entrapping us, but it's a door. It's 1,000 doors, because that's the magic in asking the right question, an expertly crafted question. The magic is that it doesn't just lead to an answer, it leads to better questions. So the next time you're lost in thought or in a meeting that could change everything, don't just look for better answers. Try to find better questions. Now, before finishing up this video, I'd like to ask you guys one last question. What's a question that you've been thinking about for the past few days? You know, literally, I want you to think about what's a question you've been asking yourself, and I want you to drop it down in the comments. And I will try my best to go down and try reframing that question for you. I feel like that can be a pretty interesting experiment. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for more videos.